Okay, there we are live. Good morning, everybody. I'm Suki Jeffries. This is the Defying Expectations Over 60 live stream show. We usually come to you live at noon Mountain Time, actually 11 Pacific Time because my Arizona Mountain Time changes. But we come at 11 Pacific Time on Tuesdays, but today we're on Wednesdays because I really wanted to talk to Sharon, my guest today, and she had a scheduling conflict with Tuesday. So thanks for bearing with us, and thanks for being here. So Sharon Rolph is 75 years young. She is a behavioral scientist, and she calls herself on Instagram the Queen of Courage. And since my business is Courage Rises, I thought I needed to get to know this woman. So Sharon, tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Well, another interesting thing about me is I've never been married and never had kids, but I also never had cancer or diabetes or all those other, because I live from no fear. And what a difference it makes. Potential has always been kind of important to me. And from a teenager, what's my potential? And I still think us over 60 have huge potential, but we kind of seem to forget that. So that's why I'm here.
I love that, because that is exactly why I'm doing what I'm doing over 60, because I was told all my life I had a lot of potential, probably like you. I had a great career, but I thought when I retired, there's probably more that I have never even explored. And so I'm out here fulfilling my potential in any way I can think of. So
Cool.
I know you've got something funny. Oh, hi, a little higher. So what does it say? It says that moment when you realize you're getting old. I love it. So tell me, you are a retirement coach. So first of all, why are you doing that? Why are you doing that over? Is it the potential thing? Why are you doing that over 60?
Well, personally, I figured actually I didn't start saving for retirement until probably about 50. And I want to travel a little bit. And I figured that this will help me maybe be able to earn some extra money to travel. But now I've kind of got my sights on being an international speaker, so I get paid to travel.
Yes.
Maybe a little bit of both. But it goes back to that potential, Suki. I see all this time freedom as untapped potential. And
yes.
somebody needs to help us get engaged and vibrant in retirement, because we'll live longer, we'll live healthier, and we'll have meaning. And that's a heart thing,
And purpose. Yeah. There are lots of studies that show that having a purpose will keep you younger and healthier, and will keep you more active into retirement. And oh shoot, there was something that you said that I have forgotten, but it was really sparked my interest. I'm sure it'll come back. So tell me how you got into this.
Well, it was kind of a natural flow from my behavioral science. Actually, even becoming a behavioral scientist was kind of an accident too, because I was on a campus picking up my grades or something, and my most recent instructor was going the opposite direction as me. And as I passed him, I said, "I really enjoyed your class." He said, "Well, if you enjoyed that, then you ought to check out this master's program." I did the same day. I was signed up within a week or two. And so becoming a behavioral scientist, at my last job at Boeing, I was an empowerment facilitator. And they were trying to take problem solving down to the lowest level. And the old farts didn't want to be problem solvers.
They didn't want to be what?
Problem solvers.
Oh, problem solvers, sure.
They'd rather blame somebody else.
Oh, my.
So it was a challenging job, but it did not deter me, because I look at everybody having a uniqueness about them that is powerful if we just listen. And now I have a process to help people. I've got a course that's getting launched here soon that will help people, teach them what's inside of them, their inner spark, their DNA, their GPS system.
Yes. Awesome. Yeah. So is it of your own making, or is it a company you've teamed up with?
Well, it's actually the first thing I learned in coaching school.
Okay.
They called it an essence statement, and I've renamed it to inner spark, or just even intrinsic motivation is kind of.
Mm-hmm.
And so my inner spark is I am precious jewel of wisdom. I'm colorful collaborator, motivator, and learner. I am tranquil, authentic, and pure inspirer. I light fires.
That's awesome.
So every day when I live from that,
Yeah.
it's right. It's
When you're aligned, everything falls into place.
yeah,
And as a coach, I know this is true for me too. If I'm aligned with myself and my purpose, then my coaching is more impactful. Yeah.
yeah. You're
So,
on target. Yeah.
yeah. So you recently wrote a book. Tell us about that.
Oh yeah. Fresh Courage in Retirement is I make these art blocks. So here's an example of one that's, it's kind of a postcard size. And I have sprinkled them throughout my book because art and wisdom gets processed in our brain differently. So it's Fresh Courage in Retirement, finding purpose, essence, and fulfillment. And it's kind of a DIY course on you finding your purpose. And I give you all kinds of ideas. I've got lots of research in there as far as the websites and books and websites, books, and I don't know. Anyway, movies.
Yeah. The videos and stuff. Yeah.
The Intern was a good one that taught us a lot of things about getting old.
It was really good. I thought it was excellent.
So if you're a do-it-yourself person, then my book would be a gold mine for you. But some people want you to kind of help them do it. Let's work together, and that's perfect because that's coaching. But then there's do it for you is like a VIP day where we get it all done in one setting. And I would take your, okay, so this might shine a little bit, but the elements of your
Inner spark.
Inner spark is just things you already know about yourself.
Hot buttons, personal qualities, love to do, aspirations, values, guiding principles. Sure. And then endless joy is the equation. Yep.
So my metaphor, we mold all that into a metaphor. And mine came from another aha moment. I was in Dallas, Texas at an art fair. They have the first weekend of May. And way back in the back corner was this geometry teacher turned jeweler. Talk about unique.
Yes.
And he had, I tried on his rings. They were called stackables.
Mm-hmm.
Something moved in my gut. What is this? What happened? I took them off and put them back on again, and it moved again.
Oh my.
I left there bewildered. What happened? And I don't know. There was some book I was reading, I don't know, a year or two later or something, that they said, talk about something that you love and describe yourself as that item.
Oh, sure.
So I talked about how I contributed at work to my team with my brilliance and value and sparkle and reliability and all this stuff. And so I easily transitioned that into my essence statement. So I am precious jewel of wisdom. I've always loved wisdom.
Yes.
And that's a nice nugget. I think of the parables in the Bible as being a nugget that you read it, it says something else to you,
Yes, yes. And precious jewels, and that you work color into there. So I'm a color girl. Now, you see I'm wearing my crazy rainbow wig, which is actually not about just being colorful. It is part of a goal setting program, a leadership program that I'm doing. And it's pushing me out of my comfort zone so that I can get better, more different results than I've been getting in certain areas of my life. So, but I love color. And so when I found this wig, I'm like, oh, that is so for me. And everything in my life is colorful. And I love that that's you as well. I like your photo in the background. I love that you've actually got print blocks in your book in color. I wrote a book last fall, and my photos that I have in there, there's only a couple, and they're all in black and white. And I don't even know why I didn't think to put them in color. Why not? And so I'm really looking forward to having a look at your book and seeing all those beautiful blocks and what you've done with color and images and all of that kind of stuff.
Well, let me tell you a little story about my transformation, and I'll use my my art visual aid.
Love it.
That first, what is that first? Something's green. What? Oh, it's just a reflection, I guess. So,
oh, that's funny.
The first weekend of class, when we learned our essence statement, I somehow told that I was going to be at a birthday party the next weekend, and I written my friend that I probably would wear a hat, which I don't do, at least not then. And she said, "Well, you'll probably be the only one that wears one." And so when I shared that at class, they said, "Well, why don't you bring it in tomorrow and let us have a look at it?" Well, I didn't just bring one in; I brought in like 6. So every time that we had a break, I would put on a different hat.
Oh, I love it.
Now, the transformation that happened, Suki, was I was struggling with feeling invisible and didn't even know it.
I remember you telling me about this when we first spoke. I can't imagine it, but keep talking. Tell us about it.
Well, so it was still maybe 6 months down the road when I came back from lunch in my class, and I stomped my foot and slapped the table and said, "It's not okay to be invisible." I didn't even know where that came from. But that's now how many of us feel invisible in retirement.
Yes.
I felt invisible my whole career because nobody celebrated me per se. Nobody came to my graduations, all that. And it was okay. I was different and I knew that, but
you get used to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that feeling invisible, I think that I didn't put it that way, but when I retired from so I was in technology, corporate technology for 35 plus years. And when I retired, I was so, I had been single a long time, and my career was a lot of where I gained my identity. And when I retired, I was out having fun and stuff, but I didn't feel so much like I had an identity that I recognized, that gave me power or energy, maybe is another word for that. Some people don't like the word power, but yeah. And so I think I kind of was invisible, and I'm like, I need to do something for me that's going to make me less invisible. And as I said, I never really thought about it in those terms, but that's a really great way to put it.
Well, I'll never forget the day that I took some of these art blocks into my boss's office at Boeing. Where was art in Boeing,
Right. Bunch of engineers. Yep. Doing their thing.
I was scared. And I don't even remember what prompted me to do it, but it was, I've made probably 500 of these. And somehow, well, in those days, everybody was in a cubicle. Mm-hmm. And so I thought, well, this is going to be artwork for small spaces. You still need artwork, on cubicles.
Yes.
And the amazing thing that happened that day was he didn't ridicule me. He didn't make fun of me or criticize me. I left there with let's see what you can do with this.
That is awesome. That's awesome encouragement.
Yeah. And it turned out that 3-4 weeks later, there was a big display event on the production floor where the planes are made. And I blew some of these up. Well, I made some unique ones just for that event, and they were all on trust, because the event was about empowering people and to be vulnerable and feel empowered. You need lots of trust, so there's safety.
Yes, exactly.
So I blew them up into big posters and hung them on something. I don't know. But the fact that he let me express myself was such a gift.
Well, letting you, and it sounds like, he, if he didn't pave the way by saying, yeah, you have to do it, at least he opened the door and, and didn't say no, and sometimes that's the opportunity we need, right? Yeah, that's awesome. Yes, and I have felt. I mentioned before I'm in this leadership program, and I have felt afraid to talk to people about certain subjects because I'm afraid I will be ridiculed or I will be shut down or stifled. Yeah, and I'm finding, like you, that people are a whole lot more receptive than I think they're going to be, like your boss was. And so, yeah, summoning up the courage to go in there and show him that stuff, was really important.
Well, this one it's about vulnerability from Brene Brown. I have a better one that I like. Vulnerability is showing up and being seen without any expectation of the outcome.
Yes. So and that's so hard to do.
Yeah, I figure how I look at it, Suki, is that if I'm vulnerable, I open the door for you to be vulnerable too. Yes. I live to tell about it, like with my boss, and maybe you can too.
Yes, I think that's absolutely true. Absolutely true. I know I found that in my relationships when I summon up the courage to be vulnerable and talk about a subject that I'm afraid to talk about because I'm afraid whoever I'm talking to will say, oh my gosh, that's silly. That's, why that, blah, blah, blah. And when I open myself up to be vulnerable and bring up those subjects and they realize that I'm really serious, that I want to talk about it, then I agree. They feel like they can be vulnerable too. I've had some wonderful conversations. Mm-hmm. Scary, like sometimes I come out of it shaking, but I've had some good ones. Yeah. It's a good start, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. So we're getting to the end of our time because we like to have a short little broadcast. Is there anything that you want us to know, Sharon, before we sign off?
Well, my Facebook page is very active. I've already posted 3 things out there today. And I do have a website, SharonRolph.com.
Well, that's okay. Well, you'll send that to me and I'll put it in the comments so that people can have it on Facebook. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn.
And my book is on Amazon. And I think it is becoming critical, ladies and gentlemen, that we know who we are and bring that to the world, because we'll live healthier and live longer, and it'll be a good life. We'll be vibrant.
I agree. And I want to be out doing what you're doing in it's only 11 years. I'm 11 years behind you. So that's going to go in the blink of an eye, as you know.
I'm headed for 100. So you got to chase me.
Okay. I will chase you. I totally will chase you. If it's a healthy 100, I'm in. Okay. Thank you so much for being on Defying Expectations Over 60. I will get Sharon's information out there for contacting her, and also about her book. I will get a link to Amazon. So thanks, everybody. And we will see you next Tuesday, 11 a.m. Pacific, Defying Expectations Over 60. I'm Suki Jeffries, and thank you.